Right, hello and welcome back. We are going to be doing our championship mid-season table prediction. Earlier this year, back in August time, maybe even back in July, it was around that time, I did a championship prediction. I had so many teams doing really well that aren't doing that well in the current season. I had so many teams that I thought would do really well, such as Cardiff, that are doing really poorly this season. So what we're going to do, in the spirit of Christmas, is we're going to count this as the midway point in the season. It kind of is, it kind of isn't. A lot of teams have actually played 23 games so far this season, and a lot of teams haven't, mainly due to COVID. And I know we're in the midst of another lockdown potentially, but it also might not happen. Nobody really knows what's going on. I've heard from this point of recording, Swansea are now playing their games behind closed doors at home. I don't know if it's the same away. It probably isn't the same away. I don't want this season to be played behind closed doors, but it might go that way eventually. Let's see. We'll see, won't we? Without further ado, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to predict the rest of the games this season, and we'll have a look at the end of each week and see what the just see what the damage is, see what the table looks like. So the games that haven't got time, such as these, and the games that have been postponed due to COVID, we will be doing towards the end, or maybe at some point, midpoint of the season. I don't know, we'll see. But the games that have got times are the games we're going to focus on filling in for now. But come the end of the table, we will have a look at the full table, with every game playing 46 games apiece. I myself am a Sheffield United fan. I'll try to be as unbiased as I can. No promises. We're also in really good form at the time of recording. We're on a 5-game unbeaten streak, keeping 4 clean sheets and winning 4 in a row. So we're on good form. So based on our current form, I think our next few games, and I don't think it will be too biased to say, I think our next few games personally won't be that far off of our current form, so to speak. We'll do pretty well, is what I'm trying to say. So it might seem biased if I'm giving us a fair few victories to begin with, but I think realistically that's fair. So starting off, we have Fulham versus Birmingham. These are 3 o'clock kickoffs. I know it says 4 o'clock on here. I believe it's a German website, which is an hour in front of UK times, hence why it says 4 o'clock, not 3 o'clock. Actually, we'll just confirm that. No, it says .net. I thought it said .de, but it doesn't. It says .net. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to get into it, and we are going to do the Premier League, League One, League Two, so on, everything else that we predicted. But without further ado, let's get into it. We've got Fulham versus Birmingham at 3 o'clock on Sunday, which is Boxing Day, just after Christmas. I think this one, based on current form, I think Fulham are on 5 games without a win, but Birmingham aren't really doing that well. I'm going to go. This is where Fulham are going to get their first victory from in a while. This is where they're going to start picking up a bit of form. I'm going to give them a 3-1 victory. I'm going to go 1-1 between Middlesbrough and Nottingham Forest. I think Swansea will lose at Millwall. I think a 1-1 draw between Huddersfield and Blackpool sounds fair. Hull 1, Blackburn 2. Blackburn are definitely the team in form. 5 wins in a row, non-conceded in 5 games. Incredible form from them. I will go 2-0 to Luton against Bristol City. 0-0 between Peterborough and Reading. And as I say, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, but I do think Sheffield United will win 2-1. So after Sunday's games, that will leave the table looking as such. But with the 2 games on Monday, we're going to have 3-1 West Brom. Actually, no, we're not. I'm going to change that because they have drawn a fair few games, and I think they will again. I'm going to go another 0-0 between Derby and West Brom. I'm going to go 2-1 to... Actually, no, this is hard to predict. I'm going to go 1-0 to QPR. It's very hard to predict because QPR haven't played that many games recently, mainly due to COVID. They didn't play at the weekend. They didn't play last week's fixture against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane, again because of COVID. Didn't play this weekend against Swansea because of COVID. Before that, looking at their current form, they have a loss, a win, another win, and a draw. They haven't got the worst form in the world, and I know that Bournemouth have had a couple of really difficult results recently for them. They have lost 1-0 away to Middlesbrough, lost 2-0 at home to Blackburn, drawn away to Fulham, drawn at home to Coventry, drawn away to Millwall, lost at Derby, and then they won against Swansea the game before. I think they lost to Preston the game before that as well. Is that correct? Where are we? We're at Bournemouth. Yeah, lost at home to Preston. So We've actually only got one win in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fixtures anyway. One win in 8 fixtures, which isn't really good form for them. So, based on that, and based on how well QPR play anyway, and how good of a team they are at home, I think a 1-0 QPR home win is fair enough, personally. Between Birmingham and Peterborough on the 29th, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Birmingham win. A 4-0 victory for Blackburn, who are scoring for fun, to be honest, right now. I'm going to go 1-0 to Middlesbrough at Blackpool. 1-1 between Coventry and Millwall. Sheffield United to beat Hull by 3-0. A 1-1 draw between Swansea and Luton. And I'm going to go a 2-1 victory to Fulham at Reading. Bournemouth against Cardiff. I think Bournemouth will win this game 2-0. Bristol City to draw with QPR. I don't think Bristol City are that bad. They're not brilliant, but they're not bad. Forest to win 2-0 at home to Huddersfield. A 2-1 home victory for Stoke against Derby, and a 1-1 between West Brom and Preston. Now, I know a lot of fans of other clubs might watch this video and they might be like, oh, but my team will do better than what you're predicting, or have you seen my team play before? They're never going to do that at this stadium or against this team. I don't want you to get carried away with any of that. This is just my prediction purely. Nobody can predict perfectly, so we'll just see how it goes. Moving into New Year's Day, we have the early kickoff between Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. Of course, that's return of Chris Wilder to Bramall Lane, which will be a brilliant reception for Chris Wilder, I'd have thought. And I think it'll be a very tough game. I'm going to go 2-2 in that one between Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. On the same day, we have Blackpool, who will beat Hull by 2-1, and Coventry to beat Luton by 3-0. Leaving the table looking like this. Sheffield United sneaking into the playoffs with that. We're going to have Bristol City to beat Millwall the following day, followed by a 1-1 draw between Birmingham and QPR. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Huddersfield victory at Blackburn to break the ice of Blackburn just winning all the time, and 3-1 to West Brom against Cardiff. Then Reading to play Derby will have 1-0. Then a 2-1 Forest win against Barnsley. 1-1 between Stoke and Preston. 1-0 to Swansea against Fulham, and 2-0 on the Monday night. I think it's a Monday night. It's a really stupid fixture. It might even be Tuesday night. It's a really stupid fixture. Peterborough travelling to Bournemouth is about a 4-hour trip. 8 o'clock kickoff, or whatever it is. 7:45 kickoff on a Tuesday night is ridiculous, to be honest. It's like us playing at Fulham last night. Today is Tuesday, where I am. It would have been Monday last night. We beat Fulham 1-0 away, but yeah, us to go there, it took us 4 hours to get there, 4 hours to get back. I didn't get back till about 2:30 in the morning, which is really stupid. Peterborough fans will be the same coming back from Bournemouth. And all for a TV game, a televised game, is stupid, is pathetic, but here we are. Sky TV is ... I'm sure you guys know the rest. Moving into the following fixtures. So this is after the third round of the FA Cup, which every single team in this division will be entered into. My own team, Sheffield United, to play Wolves away. Personally, I think we'll lose 2 or 3-0. Which isn't too bad, to be fair. Gives us more focus on the league. I'm going to go Luton 1, Bournemouth 1 in the early kickoff. And then we're going to go with a 2-0 away victory for Blackburn at Cardiff. Derby County 1, Sheffield United 2. Barnsley 1, Blackpool 0. Fulham 4, Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 1, Reading 1, Millwall 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Huddersfield 2, Swansea City 0, Peterborough 0, Coventry City 1, Preston 1, Birmingham 2, and QPR 1, West Brom 1. And then on the following day, which I believe is Sunday, we're going to go with Hull City 2, Stoke City 0, against a run of play more or less, but things like that happen. I also want to point out, because I don't remember pointing this out at the beginning of the video. Maybe I did. A short-term memory, I can't remember. Reading are actually 6 points behind what they are in Bear, which would be 26 at this point. And Derby are 21 points behind, which would be 5 points at this point. They're not deducted from this table. I'm not entirely sure why. When you come to doing the predictor itself, they are deducted, but when you see this page and get the actual predictions up, it isn't deducted. I'm not sure why they do that. I'm not sure if it's like a coding thing that we can't get right. Anyway, so bear in mind, Derby County 21 points behind what it says here, and Reading 6 points behind what it says here. as they have actually had points deducted. Into the next game will be a derby match, so to speak, between Bristol City and Cardiff. I think that would be 1-1. And another derby match between Forest and Derby, which I think Forest will win comfortably by 3-0. Bournemouth versus Hull, I go 2-1 Bournemouth. 1-1 Birmingham Barnsley. 1-1 Blackpool Millwall. 2-0 to Coventry against QPR. 0-0 between Reading and Huddersfield. A 1-0 Sheffield United win against Luton. A 1-1 draw between Stoke and Fulham. 3-1 to Preston at Swansea. And 2-0 to West Brom against Peterborough. And then Blackburn versus Middlesbrough. I think Blackburn will win by 2-1. Moving into the last game of January, which I think could also be the last, the fourth round of the FA Cup maybe, so games could get cancelled. I think that falls on the same weekend, perhaps I'm wrong. We have Huddersfield versus Stoke kicking us off on the Friday night. I will go 1-0 Huddersfield. And then moving into Saturday, we have Barnsley versus Bournemouth, a 1-1. 2-0 to Fulham against Blackpool. 0-0 between Middlesbrough and Coventry. 1-1 between Millwall and West Bromwich Albion. 1-0 to Swansea at Hull. 2-1 to Luton against Blackburn. 1-1 between Preston and Bristol City. Now a big scoreline. I'm going to go 5-2 to QPR against Reading. And then the late kick-off between Sheffield United away to Peterborough. I'm going to go 1-0 to Sheffield United. Into the Sunday kickoffs, we have Derby versus Birmingham. First win we're going to give to Derby here against Birmingham will be 2-1. And then we're going to go with a 3-3 draw between Cardiff and Nottingham Forest. Into February, we have Birmingham versus Sheffield United. I think we will lose this by 2-0. Bristol City away to Blackpool will be a 2-1. And then 1-1 between Barnsley and Cardiff. 1-0 to Middlesbrough against Fulham. 0-0 between Millwall and QPR. 0-2 Reading Stoke. Huddersfield 1, Derby 1. Hull City 1, Preston Northend 0. I believe that was the first game of the season, and I think Hull won by 4-1, maybe 4-0, something like that, away to Preston, or something like that. We're going to go with a 1-1 draw between Forest and Coventry. 1-0 to Peterborough against Luton. Swansea 1, Blackburn 2. And West Bromwich Albion 3, Bournemouth 2. Moving into the second game in February, which will be a midweek match. Cardiff City 2, Peterborough 1. Coventry 1, Blackpool 1. Derby County 1, Hull 2. Fulham 2, Millwall 0. Luton 0, Barnsley 0. And Stoke City 1, Swansea City 2. On to the Wednesday night, we have Bournemouth versus Birmingham will be 3-0. 1-1 between Blackburn and Forest. 2-1 to Bristol City against Reading. 2-0 to Preston against Huddersfield. 1-1 between QPR and Middlesbrough. And 1-0 to Sheffield United against West Brom. So looking at that current table, so here, what I'm going to do here is after the next fixture, so the next midweek opportunity, which will be between the 12th and 19th. We're going to fill in some of those games where COVID occurred. Let's say they'll be played around that time. They might not be. I'm not making guarantees, but let's just say it's a free week, so we'll play them on there. So, this game first, we're going to have Birmingham 3, Luton 0, Blackpool 0, Bournemouth 1, Barnsley 2, QPR 1, Middlesbrough 3, Derby 0, Millwall 0, Cardiff 1, Reading 1, Coventry 1, Huddersfield Town 2, Sheffield United 1, Hull City 1, Fulham 0, Nottingham Forest 0, Stoke 0, Peterborough 0, Preston 1, Swansea City 2, Bristol City 0, another derby match, and West Bromwich Albion 2, Blackburn 1. So, current table, after 32 games or so for the majority of the league, we'll have Fulham and Bournemouth. Top 2, Blackburn in 3rd, West Brom 4th, Sheffield United 5th, and Forest in 6th. Coventry, Huddersfield, Middlesbrough, QPR and Stoke all just outside of the playoffs within a few points. Derby will be bottom on 9 points, sorry. Peterborough in 23rd on 23, and Barnsley on 24 and 22nd, which will mean they're actually 4 points off of safety because Reading will be on 28, Cardiff on 31. So not guaranteed relegation, but it's going to be hard to come back because there's not much competition to stave off. So, looking back at some of those games that were cancelled, West Brom, no, Barnsley and Stoke, yeah. So we'll do these games first. Let's say Cardiff played against Derby, we got 2-1 Derby. 2-0 to Coventry against Stoke. Millwall 0, Preston 1. Reading 2, Luton 1, and QPR 3, Swansea City 0. Now, catching up to time, we have the next set of fixtures, which is Birmingham versus Forest. I think would be a 2-1 victory for Forest, and I think it'd be an early kickoff as well, so we'll mark that pretending it is. And Blackburn 3 and Millwall 0. Bristol City 1, Middlesbrough 1. Cardiff 2, Blackpool 1. Coventry 3, Barnsley 1. Derby 1, Peterborough 1, Fulham 1, Huddersfield 0, Luton Town 0, West Bromwich Albion 0, Preston North End 0, Reading 2, QPR 3, Hull City 2, Sheffield United 2, Swansea 0, and Stoke City 1, Birmingham 2. And we don't have a midweek gap, so the next midweek gap we'll do some more fixtures filled in. So moving into the next midweek set of fixtures, we've got Bristol City versus Coventry, and I see this being as a really big surprise result. We're going to go 4-0 to... No, actually, we're going to go 4-2 to Bristol City. And 2-2 between Middlesbrough and West Brom. 2-0 Hull against Barnsley. 1-2 Preston versus Forest. 1-0 to Swansea against Bournemouth. And 1-1 between Reading and Birmingham. Derby County 1, Millwall 0. Fulham 3, Peterborough 1, Huddersfield Town 1, Cardiff 1, QPR 1, Blackpool 0, Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 2, and Stoke City 2, Luton Town 0, which means that Sheffield United, my team, would drop to 8th position in the current table. Blackburn now 4 points clear of 3rd place Bournemouth, giving them a little bit of breathing space, and Fulham are still top of the league with a massive gulf in goal difference, but only 3 points above Blackburn. Apologies for any interruptions in between talking. I'm still drinking my tea. On the 26th, we have Bournemouth versus Stoke. We're going to go 1-0 Bournemouth. 1-1 Birmingham Huddersfield. 1-2. 0-1. 1-3. 2-0. 1-1. 1-1. 1-0. 2-1 to Forest. 3-0 to Peterborough against Hull, and 0-0 between West Brom and Swansea. Next set of fixtures, we'll fill in some more of these since we have a midweek gap. We are gonna have Sheffield United, QPR. Yeah, they could play on the same day. So if we fill in the next three, I'm gonna go Sheffield United 2, QPR 3, and I'm gonna go Cardiff City 2, Coventry 2, and Barnsley 2, Stoke 0, not Stoke 9. So we're going to fill that in. Oops. And we're going to calculate that. So after 35 fixtures apiece, we're going to have Fulham, Blackburn, Bournemouth, QPR, West Brom, and Coventry as our leading 16s. Right, so back into it. 11 games remaining, start of March. Bristol City 2, Birmingham 0, Derby County 0, Barnsley 0, Fulham 1, Blackburn 2, Middlesbrough 1, Luton 0. I'm actually going to change that Fulham to a 1-1. I can't see any team winning in that fixture. 2-0 to Reading against Millwall. Huddersfield Town 2, Peterborough 2. West Bromwich Albion to win 3-1 away to Hull. Bournemouth to win 2-0 at Preston. 2-1 to QPR against Reading. 1-1 between Sheffield United and Forest. 1-0 to Blackpool at Stoke City. And Coventry to lose 2-1 away to Swansea. Meaning Forest go back into the top 6 as Coventry drop out on goal difference. Bournemouth back into second after Blackburn dropped down a point behind them. Next game would be a 4-1 victory for Bournemouth at home to Derby. Yeah, that's the next game. And Birmingham 1, Hull 1. Blackburn to beat Bristol City by a goal to 0. 0-0 between Blackpool and Swansea. And a 2-2, a 2-1, a 1-0 to Barnsley, a 3-0 to Middlesbrough, 2-1 to QPR, 2-2 between Forest and Reading, 2-1 to Peterborough, and a 1-0 to West Brom. meaning Sheffield United now 5 points adrift to playoffs. Moving into game 38, Bournemouth 2, Reading 2, Birmingham 1, Middlesbrough 2, Blackburn 3, Derby 0, Barnsley 1, Bristol City 2, Nottingham Forest 2, QPR 0, and Forest 0, West Brom 0, Fulham 1. And on the following day, Blackpool 2, Sheffield United 2, Cardiff 2, Stoke 0, Coventry 1, Hull 0, Millwall 1, Huddersfield 2, Luton Town 3, Preston North End 2, and Peterborough 1, Swansea 1. Into game 39, we go 2-0 to West Brom at Bristol City, and 2-1 to Derby against Coventry, 3-0 to Fulham against Forest, and 0-0 between Middlesbrough and Cardiff. Blackburn to win 2-1 away to Reading, Huddersfield to beat Bournemouth by 2-0. Actually, I'm going to make it a 2-1. Hull City to win 3-1 against Luton, Preston North End to beat Blackpool by 1-0. QPR 1, Peterborough 1, Sheffield United 2, Barnsley 1, Stoke City 1, Millwall 0, and Swansea City 0, Birmingham City 0. Into game number 40, so the last 6 games of the season remaining after this. At the beginning of April, we're going to go 2-2 between Bournemouth and Bristol City, Birmingham 1, West Brom 2, Forest to win away to away 2-0 to Blackpool. Very hard one to predict there. 3-2 victory for Swansea at Cardiff in the Derby match. Coventry to beat Blackburn by 2-0. Preston to get a point at Derby. Barnsley to get a rare win. A 0-0 between Hull and Huddersfield. 2-0 to Luton. 2-1 to Peterborough. 1-1 between QPR and Fulham. And Sheffield United to win 2-0 away to Stoke. So 6 games remaining. Fulham are 6 points clear of 3rd place West Brom. Meaning they're not promoted yet, they haven't won the league yet, but it's looking more than likely that they will go up. West Brom, Bournemouth and Blackburn all in the mix for 2nd. QPR not too far behind either. Coventry, Forest, Sheffield United and Middlesbrough look to be battling it out for the playoffs. Huddersfield is still in with a chance, but unlikely. Swansea now up to 11th, so picking up a fair few results recently. By the looks of it, we've got Swansea to win or to not be beaten in the last 4, 5, 6, 7 fixtures since Sheffield United away in February. So moving into the 9th of April, we have Blackburn 3, Blackpool 1, Bristol City to beat Peterborough, Fulham to beat Coventry, Middlesbrough to beat Hull, Millwall and Barnsley to draw, Reading to lose to Cardiff, Luton to win at Huddersfield, Forest to win, Preston to draw with QPR, Sheffield United to beat Bournemouth, Swansea to lose at home to Derby, and West Brom to beat Stoke City. Meaning that Fulham and Blackburn are more than likely going up at this point. West Brom is still in with a chance, so they're only 2 points behind Blackburn. Fulham probably going up at this point. Bournemouth look to be bottling the chances. Bournemouth playing Middlesbrough in the next fixture will be a 2-2 draw. And then a 2-0 victory for Coventry away to Birmingham. 2-1 to Fulham at Derby. Huddersfield Town 2, QPR 3. Hull to beat Cardiff. Luton 1, Forest 1. Peterborough 1, Blackburn 2. Preston North End 2, Millwall 1. Sheffield United 4, Reading 0. Stoke City 0, Bristol City 0. Swansea City 0, Barnsley 1. And West Bromwich Albion 2, Blackpool 3. Meaning that Blackburn are now 5 points clear of West Brom and Fulham are 4 points clear of Blackburn. So 9 points ahead. Fulham could get promoted in the next game. Derby County will be on 24 points, meaning they'd be relegated at this point. Peterborough 36 and Barnsley 39. Millwall on 42, Cardiff 44 and Hull 46. Not too far away from relegation themselves. Stoke City have dropped off by this point. Luton are still in the mid-table mix. Swansea in the mid-table mix. Huddersfield have dropped off. Middlesbrough still with an outside chance of playoffs. Sheffield United, Forest, Coventry, Bournemouth, QPR, West Brom also battling it out for whether they will or will not get playoffs. Blackburn versus Stoke will be 2-1 to Blackburn. 1-0 Blackpool against Birmingham. 1-1 Bristol City, Sheffield United. Cardiff to beat Luton by 3-0. Bournemouth to win away to Coventry. Barnsley 1, Peterborough 1. Fulham 2, Preston 1. Middlesbrough 1, Huddersfield 0, Millwall 0, Hull 0, Reading 0, Swansea 1, Nottingham Forest 1, West Brom 2, and QPR 2, Derby 0. Meaning that Bournemouth, QPR and West Brom are more or less safe in the playoffs. Fulham will be promoted at this point. Just about. Goal difference is 27 higher than third place West Brom. I can't see them overturning that. A point would mathematically guarantee it. And if West Brom failed to win the next game, Blackburn do win the next game, that would guarantee Blackburn to get promoted to the Premier League also. Sheffield United, Forest, Middlesbrough could still make the playoffs. It looks like Coventry, who they're battling against, it might be a bit too far to catch Bournemouth, QPR or West Brom into the next game. Would see Fulham get promoted with a 1-1 draw at Bournemouth. 2-0 to Birmingham against Millwall. Derby County 1, Bristol City 1, Huddersfield Town 2, Barnsley 1, Hull 1, Reading 1, Luton 1, Blackpool 0, Peterborough 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Preston North End 3, Blackburn Rovers 2, Sheffield United to beat Cardiff by 2-0, Swansea and QPR to draw 1-1, Stoke and QPR, Swansea to beat Middlesbrough, and Coventry to win away to West Brom. Meaning it's all juicy again, all in the mix, as West Brom could still fall out of the playoffs, could still get second place, but Fulham are promoted at this point. Peterborough would sadly be joining Derby, as I can't see them overturning the 14-goal deficit to finish above Millwall with 2 victories. Barnsley still in the mix for survival, but unlikely as we move into the final 2 games of the season. Blackburn to beat Bournemouth by 2-0 and guarantee promotion for themselves. Blackpool 2, Derby 1, Bristol City 1, Hull 1, Cardiff City 1, Birmingham 2, Coventry City 0, Huddersfield 0, Barnsley 1, Preston 0, Fulham 3, Luton Town 1, Middlesbrough 1, Stoke 1, Millwall 1, Peterborough 0, Reading 0, West Brom 0, Nottingham Forest 1, Swansea 0, and QPR 2, Sheffield United 3. At this point, we'll be putting Sheffield United in 6th, a point above Forest, 2 points above Coventry, Middlesbrough out of the running. Bournemouth could still drop out, QPR could still drop out, and West Brom are guaranteed playoffs at this point. 86 points for Blackburn means that league leaders Fulham will be league champions come the end, and we play Sheffield United at Bramall Lane on the final game of the season. Barnsley are just about relegated after Millwall do win at home to Peterborough, as we have Bournemouth versus Millwall will be 2-0 to Bournemouth, Birmingham to draw 0-0 with Blackburn, Derby County 1, Cardiff 2, Huddersfield Town 3, Bristol City 1, Hull City 1, Nottingham Forest 0, Luton Town 0, Reading 0, Peterborough United 0, Blackpool 2, Preston North End 1, Middlesbrough 1, Sheffield United 2, Fulham 2, Stoke City 2, Coventry 0, Swansea City 1, QPR 2, and West Bromwich Albion 3, Barnsley 0. So the final table from the bottom upwards will be Derby County on 25 points, Peterborough on 37, Barnsley on 43, Millwall on 46, Reading on 46, Cardiff City on 50, Hull City on 52, Bristol City on 54, Birmingham City on 55, Blackpool 56, Preston 56, Luton 56, and Stoke 56, separated only by goal difference. Swansea City in 11th on 59, Huddersfield 65, Middlesbrough 69, Coventry 74, Forest 75, Sheffield United 77 in 6th, Bournemouth 79, QPR 80, West Bromwich Albion 82, Blackburn Rovers 87 in 2nd, Fulham league leaders and league champions on 92. I think QPR would beat Bournemouth in the playoffs. I think Sheffield United would beat West Brom in the playoffs, and I think QPR would beat Sheffield United in the playoff final. So QPR to go up alongside Blackburn Rovers and Fulham. As I stated before, I am a Sheffield United fan, and I've tried to make this as unbiased as possible based on our current form. Like I say, I think for us personally, it's fair to say that on our current form, we will more than likely get wins against Preston, Hull, and a draw against Middlesbrough, I think is fair to say. A win at Derby, win against Luton, and a win at Peterborough. I still don't think it's too far off of what could happen. But losing at Birmingham, I haven't had us just keep winning, you know. We did beat West Brom, I had us for. But to lose at Huddersfield, beat Swansea, you know, it's win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. At this point, lose to Blackburn, but then draw at Millwall, draw with Forest, lose at Coventry. So 5 games without a win as we draw at Blackpool. Beat Barnsley, I think that's fair. Beat Stoke away, beat Bournemouth, beat Reading, draw at Bristol City, beat Cardiff, win at QPR, and draw with Fulham. Isn't too bad of a prediction. Maybe some of them we might lose, we might not finish as high up, but I don't think it's a really bad prediction. But anyway, that's how I think the table will finish for the Championship. So Fulham, Blackburn, QPR to go up, and Derby County, Peterborough, Barnsley to go down. Thank you for watching.